So this evening, the OLA sixth open evening, so it's a really important evening, as I'm sure you don't need me to tell you. I'll talk to you about the sixth form and just some practical matters and some advice for this evening. Mr. Assistant will speak to you, and then our head boy and head girl are going to speak to you as well, and then you can speak to all the teachers who are here this evening. So it is a very important evening. This transition from year 11 to the sixth form is a big transition. It's an important transition, and it's something which I hope you're looking forward to. So for all the pupils here, I hope you are looking forward to it. Sixth form is great. It's really good, and it is something you should be looking forward to. So at the moment, you're studying 9, 10 subjects or whatever, and that's a lot of subjects. Let's be honest, there may be 1 or 2 subjects that you're not enjoying as much as other subjects, but this year you get to choose the 3 subjects that you want to study in the sixth form. And that's good, that's really good. So the subjects which you enjoy the most, the subjects which you find most interesting, the subjects which really inspire you, you can choose those subjects and then you can study them for 2 years. And you will end up choosing something which is closely related to one of those 3 subjects, or maybe one of those 3 subjects to study at university when you leave the school. And the sixth form is great because it's a time when you're choosing the subjects that you want to study. So I'm a geographer, so if you don't like geography and you're studying geography at the moment, you don't have to do it for A-level if you don't want to. So you're choosing what you want to study, and also the sixth form is important because you will make more progress in the sixth form intellectually than at any other time in your life. So that transition from GCSE to A-level study, I said about it being a big, important transition. It's because you become more independent in your learning, you become more responsible for your own learning. And that's important, so you can really find what interests you intellectually, you can really find what fires you up, what you're interested in, what you want to find out more about, what you want to discover. And it is a journey of exploration, and you should be looking forward to it. And I think the sixth form is also a time when you find out about yourself as well. You find out about yourself as a learner. When at GCSE you've got lots of subjects, you've got lots of help from teachers, and I'm not saying the teachers won't help you in the sixth form, but also you do need to be more independent, because the whole point of the sixth form is to gain the qualifications you need. Qualifications are critical, but also we want you to enjoy what you're learning. You're choosing these subjects, we want you to enjoy these subjects. And to find out about yourself as a learner, so that when you go to university, you're fully prepared for life at university. And you make the most of your time at university as well. So in terms of the sort of key things I'll talk to you about today, as I said, the sixth form is a great time, and it's something you should be looking forward to. In terms of the sixth form, the key thing really, obviously we want you to benefit from the time, we want you to study. In terms of our mission statement, what we want you to do is to make the most of your gifts. So for the pupils here, you may remember I spoke about this at the start of the term. You all have gifts, you all have talents. We want you to make the most of those gifts and talents. So even if you sat there thinking, I ain't got any gifts, or I'm not talented, well, I disagree. You are gifted and you are talented. It may be that you may not have found where your gifts lie or where your talents lie, but that's the journey of exploration, that's the journey of discovery that happens throughout the sixth form. So we want you to make the most of those gifts and make the most of your time as well. So this is just something which, I'm not going to spend long on this, it's just something which Dr. Reinhardt has introduced about how we approach learning in the school. And it's called pivotal learning. The key thing is growth and innovation. It's about all of us within the school, not just pupils, staff, everyone in the school growing together, and also looking to develop and look forward and move forward as well. But the key word there is the word challenge. So your teachers at the moment will be challenging you, your teachers will always challenge you, and what we want you to challenge yourselves as well. That's important. Get the best out of yourself. Okay, so in terms of advice, the best advice I can give is place your strengths, what you're good at. Normally, the subjects that you're best at are the ones you enjoy the most, I tend to find. And do look at the information. So you have the booklets that have been produced for you. The entry requirements are there for a reason, and there is evidence behind that. You know, evidence has been collated over a number of years. So, for example, the entry requirement for maths at A level is a 7, and that's there for a particular reason. Because pupils who achieve lower than a 7, or what used to be lower than an A in old money, at GCSE, found A level maths to be really difficult. So those entry requirements are important. And it is the grades which count. So think about what do you enjoy? What's you best at? Don't make a decision on, well, I'll have an eclectic mix of subjects because universities may think I'm more interested. Universities are only interested in the grades. That's all they're interested in. They'll make you an offer based on 3 grades and that's it. So, you know, make sensible decisions. You know, don't choose subjects which you think are varied because it will make you look more interesting. So it is important to just think carefully about the subject you're going to study. So practical maths is it's a 3+ curriculum. What does that mean? Well, 3+ means you do 3 A levels. The plus is that we do encourage you to do something else. EPQ is what I would strongly recommend, what all of your teachers would strongly recommend. The EPQ, there is information about it in the booklet. You can find out about it tonight. It's the extended project qualification. Essentially, it's a bit like a mini dissertation. So you can do a 5,000-word research project on anything you want, absolutely anything you want. And the area that you decide to do your projects on, you will be assigned a member of staff as a mentor, so a member of staff who is closely related to that area or topical subject in which you're doing your research. Universities really like it because it is one piece of demonstrable evidence that you are an independent learner. So universities really value the EPQ, and also you may find that some universities will give you a lower offer if you have a good grade in your EPQ. So we would strongly recommend it. Obviously, there are option blocks, and again, with the new A levels, there's a lot more content, and the pace of lessons is quite quick. So it's very difficult to change subjects. Certainly, at this stage of the term, we're not even at half term. If you're going to change A levels now, that's 4.5, 5 weeks of work you've missed, and you will cover a lot of work in that time. So really, we're saying if you are going to change your mind, then you need to do it very soon in September. In terms of the option blocks, I mean, these option blocks, just to give you an idea, these are the option blocks for the current lower SIP. So the option blocks do vary from year to year. We will confirm the option blocks as soon as possible. So, I mean, as a starting point, you can use these option blocks as a starting point, and then obviously, depending on what people choose, then we may try and move things around. So we will try and accommodate as many different combinations as possible. Unfortunately, with the best one in the world, there may be some combinations we can't quite manage the timetable. But if you use this as a starting point, so pupils here, if you have a think about what you're currently considering the grade up to see if it fits. So for example, I did my levels, which I don't think is that long ago. Pupils here will do things like a long time ago. I did maths, geography and economics, so that would fit in this particular model. Okay, so I mean obviously you will have sight of these, so it will just give you a starting point. Okay, so in terms of this evening is a fact-finding mission. You need to find out as much as you can. It's not just this evening. So for the pupils here, do speak to your teachers. Staff are very approachable. Go and speak to your teachers. Find out what you can. And again, parents, if you've got any questions, then you can contact us. You can contact teachers. We can phone you. We can email if you have a question you want to email us. So it is very much a two-way dialogue. It is a two-way process. We want you to find out as much information as you can. Even if you think it's quite a trivial question, ask it anyway. Okay, so if you think, well, actually, I won't bother them with that question, just ask it. It's better just to ask it anyway and just find out. But obviously, the entrance requirements, as I've said, think about how you're going to be assessed. So is it coursework, exams, essays? Will you enjoy it? Can you succeed in it? So is it something that you're currently doing well in at GCSE? What combination of subjects go well with it as well? And just the skills as well that are required for the subject. New subjects, so things like economics, psychology. Again, the best advice I would give is to find out as much as you can. Make sure it's something you're interested in. So economics, for example, don't choose economics because you think it will just mean you get a better job when you're older. It doesn't work like that. You have to be interested in it. So, for example, if there's a big news story tomorrow that the interest rates have changed, it's not something you're interested in or really know much about, then you may want to reconsider why you're studying economics. So that's just an example. And again, does it go well with your other subjects? Can you do well in it? Is it something you're thinking about possibly studying at undergraduate level? What if I do not like it? Now that's important. What we will do this term is there will be taster lessons this term. So you'll be able to go along to some taster lessons in a particular subject to find out more about the subject and see if it is something that you're going to enjoy. So that will happen. So you will receive some information about that. And I would, again, another strong recommendation from me, it's probably a good idea to go to taster lessons for the subject you think about. So if you've got a subject you're definitely going to study, then you can still go to the taster lesson, but you may find more benefits, or you may gain more benefit from going to a taster lesson in maybe a couple of other subjects that you're thinking about. You won't, unfortunately, you won't be able to go to taster lessons in all subjects. Okay, so complementary subjects. So again, just some practical matters. If you're studying chemistry and physics at A level, you really should be thinking about maths. If you don't like maths and you want to study physics, I would ask you, well, are you going to enjoy physics at A level? Mechanics is a major module in physics at A level, and it's a major module in maths as well. You know, they do complement each other. English, history, and RS. Sometimes people say to me, it's 3 essay subjects, I don't want to be writing all those essays. What would you like to do at university? English. I hate to burst your bubble, but if you're doing English at university, you're going to be writing lots of essays. And if there's one thing you're going to be good at the end of 2 years, it's writing essays. So, again, just make sensible decisions. English, history, and RS, there's lots of reinforcement of key ideas and skills as well. So it could actually be, to your benefit to study 3 closely related subjects. Again, you don't need to study French and English, but if you're doing a modern foreign language, you do a literature study. If you're doing English, it will complement. So just think about which subjects go well together. Key university points. So again, if you may have no idea what you want to do at university, which is understandable. When I was your age, I wasn't entirely sure what I was going to do. But for some of you may have a strong idea, or there may be a course or something that you really want to study at university. So again, find out about that. These are just some examples. Obviously, as assistants who's head of careers can give you lots of advice. Teachers can give you lots of advice as well. But if you're thinking about medicine, most medical schools advise that you should do biology, chemistry, and maths. If you want to study engineering, further maths and physics. Some courses will accept maths and physics without further maths, but if you're looking at the most competitive courses, you really need to be thinking about further maths. Earth sciences, geography, maths, chemistry, or physics. Economics. Economics courses vary massively across the country. LSE, you'll need maths and further maths. If you go to Manchester or Leeds, you won't need maths or further maths. And again, PPE, maths, and you might need an essay subject, which could be economics. Okay, so again, it's just about finding out key information along the way. Okay, so again, in terms of university guidance, these are things that we will provide for you and for pupils. So in terms of anyone who's interested in Oxford medicine or any university course, so we can provide mentoring, practice admissions tests if they're applicable, Imperial have admissions tests now, and also mock interviews. A lot of courses run interviews, so not just Oxford medicine like Imperial I've just mentioned, and other universities may well start to run interviews over the next couple of years. So again, we can provide for that. Unifrog is an online research tool. There's careers advice and guidance, and it's all about helping you make that next step to undergraduate study. So there's a lot of information that I've covered there, and I know I've gone through it quite quickly, and it is something which we'll come back to and you'll hear more about. But before I hand over to Mr. Sissons, as I said, just think about just finding out as much as you can tonight. You do not have to make a decision tonight about what you're going to study for A-level. So if you leave this evening to the pupils here and you're still a little unsure, that's fine. Okay, you don't have to make a decision tonight at all. What normally happens is most people tend to have two subjects that they're pretty sure on. So for the pupils here, just put your hands up if there's two subjects which you're pretty sure you're going to be studying for next year. Okay, yes, that's what normally happens, and then it's the third one that people bounce around and think, will I, won't I? But again, you don't have to make that decision tonight. Just find out as much as you can, ask the right questions, okay, speak to the teachers, and then again, remember, you've still got plenty of time, so speak to your teachers tomorrow, and the rest of the week, and the rest of this term, and the rest of the academic year. Do speak to your teachers. And ask those questions. And again, for parents, if you have any questions, then please do ask us as well. But as I said at the start, sixth form is great, so you should be looking forward to it because it is a fantastic time of your life. So thank you very much. I will now hand over to Mr. Sissons, who's going to say a few words, and then Emmy and Alex will